Two, one, two, one, two. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. As you can see, we have one of the first clips up. Um, that's a commercial, light video that's up to the channel. I'm doing good. T7 midnight. You know, wherever you are. I hope if it's the morning, the afternoon, the evening, I hope that you are definitely having uh, prosperity wherever you are. I want to thank everyone for tuning in this afternoon. It is 12:30, and we starting the show. What's good, Walter? How's everything? Hell yeah. Yeah. We got a good show today. We got a good show today. I need to make sure that everyone that's not subscribed to the show, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I am trying to figure out how to get that same commercial to be ahead. So once the show is starting, that actually comes before everything else. All right. I appreciate you tuning in, beautiful. I appreciate you tuning in. Uh, we're not against anyone subscribing against each other's channels while you're in here. That would be a real good look. So if everyone, when you do get off of the show and we do leave the show, I think that it would just be a good idea to make sure that everybody subscribes to everyone's channel that's actually in the chat. The more the more you subscribe to each other, the more subscribers you will also have together collectively. I am trying to find people that are in these initial first chats, and I am making sure that I do subscribe to your channels because there's no big me and little you. And as we continue on with the channel and as the platform progresses, I will make sure that I subscribe to as many people as I possibly can because it costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. It costs you nothing to like or even dislike. And if you dislike, understand that I have some patriots in this red army. It's gonna run down on you, and we're not gonna block you. We just gonna mute you. We're gonna mute you. See, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hold you indefinitely. We're gonna put you in Guantanamo Bay. We're gonna mute your ass so you can see everything that's going on around you, and you're gonna be able to still hit that live and see that stream, but your ass gonna be mute. All right. Today's topic is why white people. Well, no, not why. White people shouldn't feel pity. White people shouldn't feel bad, and white people shouldn't feel guilty for black people. And I'm gonna explain to you why. First and foremost, white people. Good morning. Good morning, Na. Good morning. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, D. Marie. All right. So white people should not feel sorry for black people. White people should not feel guilt for black people. Let me explain something to you. As I've stated yesterday, let me know if everyone can everyone hear me correctly today. Everyone's hearing me good. I want to make sure everyone's hearing me good. I don't want any issues as far as the volume is concerned. Let me make sure that everyone gets to people this. Like I said, every day is gonna have to be something new. It's not because I sell hats either. I have to buy these hats as well. All right, cool. All right. So white people are not the inventors of slavery. Okay. It is known that uh, throughout history, all races of people um, had slaves, and in fact, that uh, initially all races enslaved themselves. Now, if if you're categorized as white, as being white, you would I don't know any white people. I don't care how much of a badass you are, unless you probably going there to save somebody or something like that. I don't know too many white people that just walk through impoverished black neighborhoods. So you can just get the thought out your you can get the thought out your head that a bunch of white people just ran into Africa, the unknown, and just started grabbing up black people and throwing them on ships. It's just not that's just beyond the truth is what I'm trying to explain to you. All right. There were a lot of African nations that conquered other African nations that took the men as slaves because they used to actually trade the men for weapons and so on and so forth, or they used them for labor. All right. So don't think somehow that the reason why a bunch of black people run around here mad is because of your ancestors. Now let's get to that part of it. You are not responsible for your ancestors. Your ancestors weren't as intelligent as you are. Your ancestors weren't as intelligent as you are. And those that did have the foresight, that did have the understanding, about human conditioning and treatment, paid for it with their lives. So often when you see individuals speaking out about things that are wrong, they are often killed for it. It's not, no one celebrates them for it. They actually put our great founding Republican president on a penny and faced him the other way. This is to show you, this is just to show you how important it is that we understand what it is going on with these globalists, and when it comes to actual presidents, how they treat it. Same thing with Kennedy. Kennedy could have got a piece, or even his piece could be used more in circulation, the 50 Cent piece. But notice how you really see the piece in circulation. Well, the whole world's smarter than Hillary Clinton. We're not going to get into that. But I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I might be getting a little hate from YouTube, man. And it also seems that, just totally off the subject before we even get into it, it also seems too that I have the Patreon set up too. So if people want to go ahead and get into the Patreon, you can get to the Patreon. Um, the Patreon is added up. So what I'm going to do is this: if you give a donation of $20, we're going to give you the live shout out, and I'm going to make sure that I post your channel under the next 5 videos that I do, or whenever I go live. I'll make sure that I post your channel. That way you get that shout out as well, and people can link right to your channel and subscribe. If you if you become a Patreon for $50, and this is your pledge, then I'm going to make sure you get a custom free hat, and you get the same shout out, and then we make sure that we post the links to your page for the next 10 videos. That way, the next 10 videos, your link is in there no matter what happens, and I make sure I also post your link on my walkaway video. Okay, I'm waiting for the super chat now. This is what I'm going to get into about the super chat. I'm going to get into it after I finish the last prize. And if you do a Patreon for $100, you get a free custom hat, a free custom shirt, and you get the shout out. You get the shout out, and you get the link on the walkaway, and you also get on the next 20 videos that we post. You will definitely have your link to your site posted on that as well. And I'm waiting for the super chat. I'm going to get to it. And then if you donate $500, I'm going to give you a free custom hat, a free custom shirt, a legitimate selfie drone. This is a drone that will be valued over $200. In some cases, they may be valued at $500. So the idea isn't about trying to get rich. It's just trying to get people involved. I have money. I will be taking the money that is sent to me, and I will be actually purchasing these things. That way I'm able to actually send them to people. And whatever is left over, that sum will be donated to the channel. So if you're donating $500, you best to believe that the drone is probably going to cost around $300-400. So maybe the channel may get all in all a $50 donation from you. So this is not a get rich thing. I just want you to understand what's going on. All right, if you do donate $500, you do get a selfie drone. State of the art. It will have return home. It will have GPS stabilization. You will be able to take pictures of yourself and of your environment, just to help get people in the hobby that I'm in, which is an incredible thing. And you also get the live shout out. You also get the 20 videos where you will be your link will be posted to your website, to your YouTube channel, and okay, so that's my partner coming, my brother coming in. And on top of that, peace, Bell. Yeah, I mean, if people want to do that too, we'll still, if people have like, the $10, we'll still make sure that we give them shout outs and everything else. Just push it. It's open. We'll still make sure that we give them shout outs and everything else. We're not against that. And huh? Yeah, I'm live. And it's one more thing that we'll be giving away if someone. It's one more thing we'll be giving away if someone else, if they do become a patron for $500. If you're in the New York City area, I will be giving you a voucher for $100 off of a tattoo. So if you're in New York City and you do the Patreon and you pull up to New York City, if you come from out of town and you're visiting New York City, no matter what, this shop is here, this location is here, and that valid $100 coupon is valid for you. Anyone else? I don't know what else I could offer if you're in another state. Maybe we can try to get you a $25 Amazon gift card or something like that, as a consolation prize for you not being able to receive the coupon towards the tattoo. But again, you donate $50, you're gonna get a free custom hat. You donate $100, you're gonna get a free custom hat and T-shirt. Yeah. All right. Now let me get into the super chat before we get back into the topic of why white people shouldn't feel guilty for black people. All right. The reason why we don't have a super chat just yet is because it's telling me that we need about 300 more hours of viewership. Peace, Shane. I see you on the check-in. So that's what we're waiting on. Currently, our videos the walkaway video is probably at like 60,000 views already. I checked this morning before I got in the shower. It was 55,000. I got in the shower. It was 59,000. So we're probably at 60,000 views already. We'll get there soon enough, and once we get there soon enough, hopefully, if not by the next live, which is tomorrow, then the following live, we should have that available. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll have that soon enough. But we do still have the GoFundMe. We do have the brand new Patreon, and we also have the PayPal donation. And I've been seeing all the donations, and I'm appreciative for all the donations, and it's appreciated. Again, we have some new things coming for the show. And Brazil just spent the morning at the golf course. No, white people shouldn't feel a little guilty at all. And we're going to get into the topic of that. Thank you, D. Marie. I appreciate it. All right, so now we're going to get into it, right? So now here's another reason why white people shouldn't feel guilty for black people. If you're white and you're in America and you're not part of the globalist agenda, if you don't have rich and affluent family members, then you're poor. You're poor like everyone else around you. And there is a narrative being pushed that somehow because you have a color and your color reflects a certain hue, or your skin reflects a certain color or hue described by these people, somehow people are perceiving that to mean that you have more money or wealth than they do, when that's not accurate. Okay, it's not accurate at all. There are more white people on assistance and public assistance than there is any other race. And people can attribute that to this being a European colonized nation, but ultimately, if white people were so well off, there wouldn't be as many people actually needing assistance. Currently there are more households totally that are working 2 jobs to support themselves than it was before. The media has continuously... No, we'll get to that. The media has portrayed white people as privileged. I hope more people of color than... We're not gonna get... Let me just break it down, y'all. Let me break it down, y'all. Because if we have someone that's here, right, and we have someone that's in the audience and they're not part of the party, but they're inquiring about what's going on, and they want to be able to know what's going on with our party, then you have to allow me the opportunity to put them in the pilot seat and allow them to fly. And whether or not they crash and burn is on them. You feel me? Let me do this, though, y'all. Let me do this. Because I'm the bridge for you. You gotta let me be the bridge for you. If I need the Patriots to come up and put him on mute or put whoever on mute, the Patriots know. Because I'm going to just let them know to go ahead and go start shooting. And they're going to go. And they're going to start detaining motherfuckers. What's good, Dave? But I want him to be able to talk. I want people to be able to come here and not feel shut down. You got to let people speak. All right. Now, the reason why white people aren't privileged, brother, is because in 1830, the Democratic Party invented something called manifested destiny. So they started the first effects of white supremacy. That's the first actual doctrination introduced on white supremacy, and it's called manifested destiny. And it was introduced by the Democratic Party in 1830, right after they did the Land Grab Act. Now, the problem with this is this. There were tons of white people that felt conflicted about slavery, but they was given this manuscript and they was given a class taught by a man named Willie Lynch that helped change the mind state of these individuals. The Democrats use something called fear. Let me know I'm live. Let me know I'm live. People, am I live? Am I live? I'm sorry, I got people calling me. I just tried to put this damn thing on airplane mode, but then the fucking Wi-Fi was acting up, so I couldn't do it. But just allow me a second, y'all. Let me just allow me to afford me the opportunity to educate the brother that's here. Okay, so then what they did was they used this tool in order to manipulate white people as well into keeping their slaves. This was a condition done because not the founding fathers, but presidents after the initial founding fathers saw to it the importance of having a nation built and done fast in a hurry. That way they can compete with the European nation. At this point in time, there were still free blacks. There was a black man still at this time that owned a ton of land in Florida. And before the Land Act actually was initiated, he had black slaves himself. So when the Land Act of 1830 was initiated by the Democratic Party and by Andrew Jackson, who was the first Democratic president, he went in, he removed 5 tribes. He removed 5 tribes from the territories, and he removed all Africans that was indigenous to the land as well. Everyone was removed from it. So the thought of white supremacy is only the idea that existed between men 400, 500, 600, 700 years ago. It wasn't about men getting it now. The only privilege that exists right now is the privilege of power. This is the reason why puppets like Barack Obama is able to run around freely right now after squandering most of our resources and giving 20% of our uranium to Russia. So there isn't a such thing as race with these people in power. There is a class thing. There's a class structure. They introduce propaganda and they continuously tell you that I'm the enemy because I'm black and you're the enemy because you're white, and then they create this discourse between us, and they keep feeding it by planting footage on the news and on television that will continuously make you exasperated. It is hard not to become petulant when the narrative painted is that somehow if you're black you are a victim. See, this is the problem. The black people have endorsed a party that has cultivated them to have this slave mentality. Somehow you believe that everyone is responsible for things that's happening. Nah, we're not talking about no good books. We're not talking about no good books. We're not talking about no good books. We're talking about a civil rights movement really happened. And do you know the civil rights movement really happened? And it happened, and then the people who were hosing down blacks and the people that were trying to stop the legislation was the Democratic Party. This is a fact. Go look it up. Go look it up right now. Go look it up right now. Go look it up right now. LB Johnson, Democrat. J. Edgar Hoover, Democrat. They were all Democrats. Every last one of them. Period. No, they will see. You keep thinking of a color, and this is the reason why we have this channel here for people like you, brother. This is the reason why we have a channel here for people like you, my brother. No. Okay, well, this is the reason why we have this channel here for you, my brother. It's to remove the idea of color from the argument. Because if I'm starving and I'm hungry, and there's another person to me starving and we're hungry, we're just two Americans. We're just two Americans that are lacking resources. It was never, see, this is the thing. This is the thing. And this is what I want Mr. Jones to do, right? I want you to go look at everything that I've said and go look it up and see if I'm lying or not. I want you to go look up everything I said and go see if I'm lying or not. The Democratic Party is the party that started the first Civil War. No, let me break it down to them, fellas. They started the first Civil War. They when I was trying to break it down, when the land grab act happened, they took New Mexico or Mexico, which is California, Utah, New Mexico. They took that whole region was one state called Mexico. They took that. They took Oregon, and they also took Washington. I believe Washington or was Louisiana. But with that, after they took it, yeah, after they took it, they wanted to make those states legal for slavery. So and then the Republican Party was introduced to stop slavery. Period. It was completely introduced to stop slavery. The party said that that slavery. The party said that slavery will happen where it will be the absolute or it will destroy the nation. Lincoln actually saw ahead of time what slavery was gonna do. This is the reason why the Republican Party was started. The people that are here are white people. The people that are here in this chat are white men, black men, men from all over the world, and everyone here right now is tired of the narrative being pushed. See, when you talk about blacks and blacks against whites and blacks against whites, the only thing you're regurgitating to me is the things that you've seen on TV or you've read from magazines. It can't be from a personal experience because are you currently at war with white people? Are you currently up at arms? Are there white people attacking you right now? Do you feel attacked by white people? You can't, but you feel attacked by your government. Now answer that question. Answer that question. Do you feel attacked by your government or do you feel attacked by white people? Let me answer that question. Because I'll post a video and I'll show you a video. No, he doesn't. We're gonna ask him a question because see, for certain people, the language for black people is white man because he has the power. So they say this is the interpretation that Democrats has presented. No, see, that's not what's happening. Let me tell you what's happening. Blacks are taking their money and they're not reinvesting it in their own communities. I'm in the club all the time and I'm watching people squander their money on alcohol beverages and they're spending thousands of dollars on overpriced alcohol beverages and instead of actually all coming together to open up storefronts. That way Arabs aren't moving in their neighborhoods and actually just taking over the neighborhoods and own all the stores. There has to be some type of accountability. We are far removed from Jim Crow's era. And if you know that there is a system set up against you to destroy you, if you know the food is bad for you, if you know that Hillary has stolen all the money, if you know that politicians can't be trusted, then you have all the information needed to stop any tools used against you that can give you any harm. Can I get some hand claps in there? Can I get some hand claps in there? Can I get some thumbs up in there? Can I get some thumbs up in there? Please, let me see some thumbs up in the chat real quick. How can there be something used against you and you have it, all the information on it, and you're aware of it? Now, how can this work against you? And if that's the case, why is it working against white people too? White people don't have White History Month. And if Democrats really give a fuck about black people, there wouldn't be a Black History Month, my brother. There would be black history in the school's curriculum. Every book that has American history in it, you open it up, and then they would talk about Benjamin Banneker, who made the war clock, who made the almanac, who made Washington, D.C. No one in here feels like they owe anybody anything. We're in here trying to heal each other. We're in here trying to build each other so our eyes are woke to what's going on. We don't care what party you from, because if you are a Republican and you're a globalist, or you're a Democrat and you're a globalist, you're an enemy of ours. You're the enemy of the state. This is what we're here for. We're here to stop them people. We not here to one love with people that's trying to sell out our country. We up in arms, and we are definitely defending ourselves against tyranny. We're not here to tell you vote Republican. This is the new red party. This is not the old red party. This is not Bush party. This is the new party. This is the new party. This is the party of Donald Trump. The globalists hate all Americans, every last one of us. The goal is to keep brothers like Mr. Jones here, feeling like the enemy is someone white, when in fact the enemy is the government that has been established, that has been taking our resources. They don't care what ethnicity you are. They are white, they are black, they are Jewish, they are men with pockets full of fucking money. You have a man running around here with over $500 trillion. How is it that the whole world doesn't understand that he's a fucking problem? Yo, when the first time the Supreme Court heard the first case of slavery ending, 7 judges voted that slavery should continue, and 2 voted against slavery. The 7 that voted to continue slavery and said that black people were 3/4 of a human were all Democrats. If anyone can prove me wrong on that, I'll give you $100. The party has invented the narrative now that somehow that they are the savior of the black race. This is the reason why white people shouldn't feel sorry for black people. They should be angry for black people. They should be out right now trying to make sure that they getting this information. They should be out right now trying to tell people to subscribe to this channel, because there's a guy that look just like you, but he know the truth, and he gonna tell you some shit that I'm trying to tell you, but I can't tell it to you, so you listen. But it's somebody who got that. He you know what? He got the sauce. I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna make sure you subscribe to his channel right now, because he's not gonna play them games with you. He's not gonna soft pedal and talk to you. He's gonna be upfront, and he's gonna tell you the truth. There's no such thing as white privilege. White people are suffering like black people are suffering. But there's a group of people that are so fucking the Supreme Court was only supposed to answer questions. The Dems are teaching their versions of history in the schools. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Listen, the Dems ran the curriculum. They started the actual curriculum. Like that, they started the curriculum. They had every opportunity to fix it when they introduced charter schools. This is a democratic school. This is a democratic institution. This is something that they actually created. So when they, yeah, he did, but we'll get into that too. We'll have a show about that, and we'll break it down. Okay, we're gonna break it down. But the white people shouldn't feel sorry for black people, because black people have, if you take the money that black people make and what they're valued in this economy, they're the 9th richest country in the world. If you take the money, if you take the black American economy and you pull it from this economy, you have the 9th richest country in the world. No, no one white should feel a little guilty either. They should be upset. They should be upset that another fellow American has been lied to too. They should feel upset that Americans are being put against one another, so there's always a problem or a fight within each other. They should be upset with that. They should be tired of that. White men now currently don't owe anyway. You shouldn't. Yeah, be angry, be upset, and be angry. Be angry that they lying to me and that they lying to you. Be angry that all this time, every time our ethnicities came close to building with one another. Came close to building with one another. Somehow it's not even, I'm not even lying. The Democratic Party has stepped in to quash it. During the 70s, we had the hippie love. We had the flower child. This was a era where people were actually realizing that humans had suffering, and they were taken up to arms verbally and physically to make sure that these things change. You can't feel sorry for somebody. You can't feel sorry for anybody, because to not know something is to have a choice of not knowing. So at the end of the day, we all have to be able to find it within ourselves to go and do the research. You feel me? We have to go and do the research. Because the powers that be think that black people are stupid. This is the reason why they have shit called the what's this shit where they get you in college? What's this shit? What's that shit called? Somebody say that shit. What is it? What is it called? When they send you to college and they it's for black people. No. But black people get it first or something like that. It's
scholarship.
No, not scholarship. It's a name that they have.
It's a black.
Affirmative action.
Oh,
Affirmative action is an indirect tool saying that African Americans are stupid. And as long as policies like this exist, it will continuously, indirectly tell Americans of this hue that somehow you just don't measure up to everyone else around you. Period. And now Asians are suffering from it. And now other Americans, such as white Americans, are suffering from it. And then what that depicts is this: people who have a black doctor in the back of their minds, they're thinking, did this nigga just pass? Or did this guy just pass? Because if I'm black, I'm thinking, did this nigga just pass? Or is he good? Because I don't know. I know about the affirmative action. I know they just letting pretty much anyone pass. And they letting the lowest scores go ahead of people who would have the highest scores. So some people who would feel a little apprehensive about going to a black doctor, you're going to be worried if he does actually have the qualifications that someone else would have had. Did he take advantage of this affirmative action? Black people are capable. We're capable. Look what we did. Look at the civilizations that we built. Look at this civilization that we are now on right now. The problem is the Democrats have removed our accountability. The Democrats have removed our accountability. So everything, you can't feel guilty for the actions of their ancestors. They have to feel anger for the actions of their ancestors. See, when you're angry about something, you change it. When you feel sorry about it, I'm sorry, but it's already done. So you got to be angry. You got to be angry about the things that went wrong so you know how to make things right. I'm angry that they killed Lincoln. How many African lives was lost during the African slave trade? At this point in time, I'm going to explain to you that the Africans that came over here on boats were shipped over here by other Africans. White people did not just run down in Africa and just start snatching up black people. They had help of black civilizations. No, they had help. They had help for black people. I'm telling you they did. And they traded guns and arms and liquor and they traded rum for slaves. They literally trade. This is the reason why in Africa right now, brother, if you go check in Africa right now, just go check. The population is outnumbered with women than it is with men. Because literally the men were taken from battle. If they had battle with another tribe, or the losing tribe would be enslaved. This is a fact. This is the reason why currently there's more women in Africa than there is men. Because the men were being snatched by other men. And if you really want to be mad at someone, then, and I don't want anyone who's Arab to be upset with me, but the Arabs had more slaves than any other race on this planet. They actually are one of the first people to be documented and still have black slaves. And they still have black slaves. And they're one of the first to be documented as of having slaves. So you can't just keep blaming white people for the actions that happen. We understand that, and everyone in this country understands that the start of this nation wasn't perfect. But if we keep reflecting on how it started, we're never going to figure out how we're going to fix it towards the end. Right now, while we're in the peak of where we are right now, we have the greatest opportunity to fix everything that went wrong. And this is the reason why it's important that we protect our president. Because whenever you have something that's good for you, that's right for you, they run to take it away. Give me 1 minute, y'all. I need my crusher. You know what time it is, because we about to get over this part of the show. We about to get to the live question and answer. All right, here I go. Pardon me, y'all. Pardon me. Okay, now why is it important that we protect The topic of today is white people don't need to feel sorry for black people. That's the topic. No, no, no. If anyone's getting upset, if anyone is getting upset, and if anyone is listen, this is the thing. Like here, we don't. This their right. It's their God given right. You can they can say whatever they want, feel however they feel. I have my patriots, and my patriots will do the shooting when they feel like they need to. Yeah. Currently in Libya right now, in Liberia right now, you can buy a black slave, and you know who politics that came from? Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Barack Obama had the information about the slave trade happening because it didn't just start when he got out of office. It was happening before he left. It was happening 3 years before he left. 3 years before he left. Now we're not asking. We don't want people to interfere with world politics. But when your politics is interfering with the world, these type of things happen. Black people don't need to feel sorry. I mean, white people don't need to feel sorry for black people because black people you did tricky. Because black people already know that they can't trust this government. Black people already know they can't trust this government. This is something that black people already knew. They already know it. They already knew it. This is something that they already knew. They already knew it. So they already say if anybody is around you acting surprised and acting upset and acting betrayed, then they lying. They knew. They already knew. Every black home that has anyone growing up in it, they tell you to be cautious of the system. Can't have something that's affecting you if you are aware of its. Sorry, they're two different things. Yeah, and I don't think that they should be feeling guilty either. I think that guilt should come from the wrongdoers. Guilt doesn't come from the innocent. Guilt doesn't come from the innocent. that's like if that's like if my brother goes and he does some heinous act or something like that. He goes and he commits a heinous act. Now I could be upset with him. I could be mad at him. I can be mad for what he's done, but I can't be mad because he's my brother. I can't be mad at that. He's my brother. And if someone's mad at me because I'm related to him, then that's their ignorance. I'm not responsible for the action that occurred. The people that need to be held responsible are the people that are telling you that they are community leaders. These are the individuals you need to go find and you need to be angry for. These are the people you need to go and tell them they need to feel guilty because it's their power structure that has continuously. Everyone that is in power right now, aside from Donald Trump, is related to presidents prior to them. Everyone aside from Trump and Lincoln. Well, Lincoln was related to somebody too. So everyone aside from Trump was related to another president. Everyone aside from Trump was related to another president. We are explaining to you that there has been a shift and change. You have a bunch of white men right now standing against a wall with the M16, not getting any sleep to make sure I can deliver this video. It's hard for me to believe that somehow he is part of a larger conspiracy to keep me down. In order to be racist, that means that you have to have the financial capabilities and the social capabilities of keeping a group of people down specifically because of their race. Now let me explain to you that they may appear that white people will have this ability, but if that's the case, then white people will be dying so much and have so many ailments. White people wouldn't be number one on paying for pharmaceuticals and so on and so forth. These things are only portrayed as such, but they're not actual real life. When you travel and you leave the area that you're in, this city or urban environment, and you go to rural areas, you will meet the kindest white people who are poor as well. There are tons of them that are poor. There is something going on television where they realize that we don't always visit each other's neighborhoods. And the reason why we don't do that is because they put shit on TV that have us afraid to visit each other's neighborhoods. That's why if you're black and you're going through the country, the first thing you're gonna go through your mind is, this looks like some Chainsaw Massacre shit. I ain't gonna drive through that shit. I'm not going through that shit at all. Hell no. And then when you white and you going through the hood, first thing you thinking is, oh my motherfucking god, this look like some snow in the bluff shit. Is somebody gonna rob us and take our camcorder and shit like that? Is the things are portrayed the way they are, that way they keep us divided. The strongest digit you have is your thumb, but the most important digit you have is your pointer finger. This one does most of the work, but this one will always do most of the holding and lifting. And as long as they keep the two most important away from each other and then keep the rest spread apart, it will never make a fist. It will never hurt when you hit somebody. It will never have an impact. And if white men were racist, Obama would never had all those votes. Obama had people from all across the aisles voting for him and his lies of peace and prosperity and so on and so forth, and it never happened. It never happened. It never happened. I'm a white Hispanic. I'm white Hispanic, husband black. We get called horrible names all the time. So. And you know what? Anyone's calling you a name, man. You know what? It comes from jealous motherfuckers. We're gonna have a show on that. We're gonna have a show on that too, because you know what? Love shouldn't come from you worrying about the color of somebody's skin or whatever. This is most people I know voted for Obama for his skin color, including me, even though it was qualification. That's because only one word, you know. As long as they keep pushing this racism narrative and they keep telling you that there's a such thing as white supremacy, then black people will always have someone else to blame than themselves. And as long as white people keep acknowledging that there is a white supremacy, then white people are not going to help black people pick themselves up and actually receive the greatness that they can and help actually make this country greater than it is already. The reason why the country is the way it is right now is because there were a bunch of black Africans before there was slavery and during the time of slavery that were accomplished engineers and masonry workers, and they all helped get this nation established. The problem is the Democrats erased them from history like they did the First Republic, and they can continue to erase everything they can from history as long as we continuously allow these globalists to run our nation and run the narrative between the people that reside here. You never see Hillary Clinton as your next door neighbor. You're not. You're not going to be able to get close to her or stand next to her. You're not. And if you do, it's only because she chooses to allow you to be that close. I don't. Do I think the Illuminati is involved in politics? Who asked that? Who? Nick Lee. Shooters. Shooter. So true. I got anywhere I'm comfortable. The globalist is the Illuminati. That's what the Illuminati is. The true Illuminati, they're the Bavarian Illuminati. They're not the true Illuminati. They're not those that are just free thinkers and that just have free thought. They are the globalists that want to establish a one world government. Yeah. Danny Williams would forgive them, and I told you yesterday, like I said in my show yesterday, they had every opportunity to go in there to fix that and use that narrative to her end. And it's a good thing that whoever was in charge of her campaign was a fucking moron and he wasn't hip to it. Yeah, so for all my Russian bots out there, I think you hear the goodie bag in the background. I think you know.
I got something to say.
What's about to happen. My brother just stepped in the office right now. He wants to add to the show.
Boom.
His name is Manny.
What's up?
So they're gonna call you a Russian bot. So the people are gonna call you a Russian because they're saying that we're Russians and shit like that too. Because CNN has said that people who go against them and go for Trump are Russians. That we're not. It's not real people.
I'm not for Trump.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm for Trump.
All right. That's not what I wanted to speak about.
Everybody saying hi, Manny. What's good, Manny?
What's up, y'all?
We're gonna change Manny over too. We're gonna have Manny vote in 2020 Trump too.
I'm not even with that. I'm not even with.
He doesn't vote, but we're gonna get him to vote.
I'm really. I see y'all talking about politics. So my political stance. I'm a black man in America, and I, because of the history of America against the black man, choose to separate myself from its government. You know what I'm saying? And to myself. You know what I'm saying? You can have me in social security number, you can have the birth certificate. But to myself, I run myself. I don't need you. You know what I mean? Especially with the history that you showed my people. So, I seen you, I was in the other room, I seen you talking about the Illuminati, and I wanted to chime in.
Okay, go ahead.
And what I learned the Illuminati was,
Go ahead.
I learned the Illuminati was started by the Roman Catholic Church.
It's not true. Go ahead.
Hear me out. There were people who called themselves the enlightened ones. They were researchers. They studied university, they studied themselves, and they were going against the practices of the church. They were going against the dogma of the church. And when the church was on their shit, like running down on nations and taking over under the banner of the church, they couldn't on. So they started to call these people who didn't believe in their God devil worshippers. And then when they became the globalists, when they got with the political faction, they teamed with the church. The church was always part of the politics. The church was always part of the politics of any land. So when they started to run down on the nations, they said that the enemy, your enemy, especially when it came to more modern times, your enemy is called the Illuminati. Our enemy is the Illuminati, your enemy is the Illuminati. And it was them.
All right, let me give you the history of them.
It's like you're saying.
Let me give you the history of them. The Knights of Templar was a security service used by the Catholic Church. I got them, y'all. I got them. The Knights of Templar was a security force and police force used by the Catholic Church. They were sent on a mission to find the Holy Grail. Consequently, when they went to Egypt, they found the truth about the Virgin Mary and the Immaculate Conception of what they call Mithra and or Horus. Okay? So when they found this out, they blackmailed the church and told the church, in order for us to keep the secret quiet, you're going to have to allow us to establish banks. The first established global banks known were established by Knights of Templar. The Catholic Church became smart to what was happening because they seen the Knights of Templar actually ran government through the practices of their banks. So then they had to call the Inquisition, where they ran down on them and they started to kill all of the Knights Templar. So the Knights Templar, wanting to keep the secret safe about the Catholic Church, formed something called the Masonic Temple. They became something called Freemasons. Then a man named Adam Weishaupt started the Illuminated movement, and he became someone called an Illuminist. He interjected into the Freemason lodges because those lodges were secret. So in secret, they could talk about ideas in the open, because if you was outside in the street and even in your own home and you talked about any other religion outside of Christianity, it was a good chance that they killed you for it. So that's just to sum up where the Illuminati started from. And then they got into the Masonic temple, and then from there on, they started to do the globalist agenda.
No, see, that's the Illuminati. You're talking about the original Illuminati that I mentioned. I'm talking about the Illuminati who today's people see as their enemy. Hold on, hear me out. Today's underworld and say people who are semi-conscious in the hood or whatever case may be, they want to point themselves an enemy for their oppression. So most people define that enemy or title that enemy the Illuminati
because they are.
So hear me out. No, but the Knights of Templar
are the original Illuminati.
But who are they crowned your enemy by? Not themselves. You saying they?
Your enemy has crowned someone else as your enemy. Your enemy has put two different screens on for two different groups of people. For black people, he promotes white people have it all and it's all glorious for them and so on and so forth. And then for white people, he promotes Black people are ignorant. They can't be trusted. They're the lowest of people. So now what happens is white people don't want to mix with black people, and black people don't want to mix with white people. Black people are blaming white people for things that happen to them, and black people are and white people are saying that are becoming afraid of black people because of what's being presented in front of them. This is done to create a narrative so we don't blame the actual crooks and bandits that are actually stealing from us. And although a lot of those people may be white, they're not responsible for all of the white people on the planet because they are ruling all of the white people and black people on the planet. Like, everyone is in a big pot and they stirring up everybody, and everybody's getting stirred up. And as soon as people figure it out, they doing something to either remove you two from each other so y'all not spreading the word to everybody else, or they're just straight up running down on you and quashing it. They're gonna kill you. Period. Look what they did to JFK. Look what they did to his brother. Look what they did to Martin Luther King Jr. And all this was done by the Democrats.
Who were, if you're looking out your window, if you were a black man looking out your window, you seen white people.
Yeah.
What do you want to call them, the Democrats?
Or not, yeah.
So my thing is, my stance is, from some, if you know that your brother just killed 20 people and raped 20 more and enslaved 20 others, you might just want to feel a little guilty for the sons and daughters of those people who just got their...
I could be mad at his dumb ass for what he did.
You don't gotta be mad.
I'm gonna be mad at him.
See, mad is an emotion that is like different than guilt.
And guilt is an emotion too.
I can feel. I said you don't have to even. You don't even. You can feel a little guilty when the topic comes up. You know, nobody. Being guilty is not going to be progressive for your life. You don't have to run around feeling guilty.
I think that.
But when the topic comes up, you can feel. You can show. Yo, I understand what you're talking about. That's not guilt.
How about some empathy?
Yeah, you can call it empathy.
But to be empathetic is different. But I don't want anyone white, especially in my audience, feeling like somehow because of things that happened 400 years ago before they even knew they existed.
Still going
you understand
on,
what I'm saying?
bro.
But there are a lot of people, like people right now.
Yo,
look how many people in here right now are in here to stop it. There's people in here now to stop it. That's why we're here.
We're here to stop it.
We're here to stop it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, but that doesn't say it's not going on.
We know what's going on, but we know what it's really. We know what it really is. We know that there's a power struggle and there are globalists trying to take over everything.
And 95% of them are white. So don't act like it's not a. Don't say that it's not a white black thing.
This is the thing.
A poor rich thing.
This is the thing.
Okay, that may be true. It's a poor rich thing, but just so happens that 95% of those rich people.
The people that are really in power don't even consider themselves
colonizers.
The people who run the world don't even consider themselves white. You cannot go to Rothschild and call him white.
You can consider yourself whatever you want to, but your looks cannot be lied to. You know what I'm saying? We just breaking it down. I don't care about white or black, but it so happens that the people who did certain things were from a certain place, so we're gonna classify them as white. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm black. When I look at myself, I see a black man.
What about all the black people that sold black people to white people?
I think because it happened, that doesn't mean to be focused off the situation in total.
That's a part of the situation.
Okay, that's not saying it's not. No, I said no, it's a part of the situation. If it happened, who started it? The kings and queens of Europe started the African slave trade. We're not gonna say that.
No, they didn't.
Who started the African slave trade?
Who
controlled the African slave trade?
Listen, y'all.
Who made money? Who made the most money?
Listen, y'all. The African trade was not started by Europeans. It was started by the Spaniards.
That's Europe.
No.
That's Europe, bro. Spain is in Europe.
No.
King Ferdinand and King Isabella is Europe. Spain is Europe, bro. That's no other continent but Europe. That's Europe.
The Spanish people don't consider themselves white.
They are Europe. They don't care what they consider themselves. They're Europe. On a map,
the
they're Europeans.
Muslims started
by looks. They're Europeans.
The Muslims and the Arabs started slavery before the Spaniards did.
The African slave trade killed way more people. And we took and the Arabs are non-black as well. So if we want
the Arabs still have black slaves.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about.
What are we talking about?
The topic of today is: are whites be guilty?
No, white. No, that's not the topic.
That is the topic.
The topic is whites should not feel guilty.
Should is question mark is there. There's just question mark there. It says the topic is should whites feel guilty?
No, white people should not feel guilty.
That's your.
That's what it says. Let me go to it right now.
It says should white feel guilty for blacks? That's the topic. Should white feel guilty for blacks?
White people should not feel guilty for black people.
Oh, that's what it said.
There is no question mark.
Okay, but you have to know that
there is nothing else. No, I know because I know I offered this show. I offered it. I know I wrote it. I'm
Right, I
telling you.
know, I
So
know.
what we saying is that I don't need your pity. Why do you need
No,
to feel sorry for me when I'm an American like you? Why do you need to feel sorry for me when we all know that there is a system set up right now that are killing you and I? They have you and I. They have you and I out here
right. And
suffering.
who's running it? Who's running it?
Listen, we not talking. If you keep saying color, then you're gonna blame the person
The
that's doing
topic
it.
is color. You brought the topic.
Yo,
The
we
topic
not
is
listen.
color.
You keep making it color. You're not even letting me finish. You keep cutting me off. Let me finish. If there's a structure set up right now, doesn't matter if the person is purple running it. We can't blame all the purple people for the fucked up white people that are running the system because all white people here are suffering.
I'm not saying blame all of
There's
them.
320 million Americans that are here right now, and only 1% of those individuals are actually running the show. So it's not all white people.
I know
The
that.
people that we're talking to right now are people that are Americans. The people that have no globalist agenda. The people that are saying that I want my human rights and I want you to have your human rights. And I want to be able to come and go as a citizen of this country the way I'm supposed to. That's what we're here for right
I
now.
understand that. I'm not saying all whites. I'm just saying the question. I'm not saying they are guilty of the situation. You saying so they feel.
I'm not saying
because
today
of what
anything.
their
I'm saying
mother or father
I'm telling
or
them that I'm telling them
forefathers did.
don't. I'm telling them don't.
Yeah, I'm telling them do.
No, I'm telling them don't. Don't waste that emotion. Some people, if you can see, some people, as you can see, are so stuck on their ways. It's just hard for them to understand and get it. But the idea is much easier. Yeah. No, he had to go take care of customers that came to the front. But the the idea of having people against you is a much easier idea than having such a big task of stopping the globalists. There are a lot of black everything, but the whole point is what I'm trying to make is you can't keep blaming people for stuff that happened 400 years ago. I didn't know what was going to happen 400 years ago. No one in this feed knew what was going to happen 400 years ago. And as long as blacks keep being taught this shit by Democrats, this is the same shit that will continuously happen. People will not get to see. Listen, it was very hard for me to be able to get my side of things through because the only thing he can feel right now was the feelings that he had, that he harbored from things that he felt that he learned. But it doesn't make it a fact because I don't know if he could actually sit there and say if someone actually held him back because of his color. American Indians owned American slaves, and American Indians helped white people hunt slaves that were runaways, and they gave them money for it too. Everyone's hands has blood on it. So now it gets to the point where, all right, this shit ain't perfect. We get it. All right, we get it. It's not perfect. Nothing in life is supposed to be, though. But no one alive right now is responsible for their ancestors' mistakes. And to sit there and yeah, the Mexicans, yo, the Mexicans were so brutal towards each other. The Aztecs, the Paisans, still to this day have tribal wars because of it. It's ridiculous. Like I was saying to y'all, this ignorance is portrayed by by globalists, and their agenda is to there is no racist in this thread, please. There is no listen, man. There is no that whole thing of racism that doesn't exist between Americans like you and I is impossible because people don't have the capabilities to actually be racist. To keep a group of people is bad. So we can't say white people are racist. The real racists are the globalists. No, man. What happens is this: black kids are being raised in inner cities, and in the inner cities, they're being taught a curriculum of hate white people. And like I was saying, if The Democrats really cared, they would have been changed the curriculum. They would have been changed the curriculum. They would have been changed how our children are being taught, so the children aren't coming home even learning about racism. I'm in New York right now. I'll be in California though, the 26th and the 27th. There was somebody that I was talking to. I gotta find his his um his YouTube so I can subscribe to his channel because I was looking for it yesterday, but there was so many new subscribers in the chat. I didn't see his name in there yesterday, but he did hit me on Instagram and we chatted for a bit. They are getting rid of the welfare state. They're cutting off everyone's food stamps and everything else. Cat all over. Make sure you guys subscribe. You heard? We have a Patreon, we have a PayPal donate, and we definitely have to GoFundMe up. And currently, right now, it says 6,000, but if we do reach 6,000, we'll be giving 2,000 away to other YouTube sources and other charitable endeavors that we can get into. We'll be helping other conservative channels build ourselves up, and we'll be helping Montaga, Montaga. I appreciate that, Shifter. You know, now it's hard. It's hard to find a job. It's hard to find a job. It is. It's hard to find a job. It's not as easy as it is when you have people competing for you that'll take lesser pay. It is more difficult, and I'm gonna say that because I've been in the arena looking for it. Real black people love Trump. Let me tell you why. Because black people love people that stick it to their authority. Black people love black people. I appreciate that dirt. Black people love white guys with swagger. You know what I mean? You see how he walk. You feel me? So as many people who got hate for Trump will be saying they hate Trump or whatever, they wouldn't be saying that if that wasn't the narrative that was being pushed. The deep state is basically the globalist. Is the so-called ruling class that calls themselves elitist or the elite. This is just their language for saying globalist. When they say I'm an elitist, they're calling themselves globalists, basically indirectly. Yeah, my first job wasn't in McDonald's, so it's not saying that's a bad job. I just wasn't with it. I rock with Trump too. Why are the Democrats taking money from racist Trump? Who said that? Who said why are the Democrats taking money from racist Trump? Who said that just now? Who called Trump a racist? Who called Trump a racist? Who said that? Whoever said that just now, come back. Let me see who said that. How is Trump a racist? Shooters, get ready. Oh, okay. All right. I'm not having people up here doing that. Oh, that's what's up, Shapeshifter. That's what's up. The tattoo shop is 211 Utica Avenue. It's on Utica and Sterling. So if you are in New York City, make sure you come down. Make sure you come get some dope ink. We got custom hats and t-shirts here, so you can see it all in real life and be able to have something made for yourself. If you're not a Patreon and so on and so forth, you can definitely come and show us some love. For okay, I got you. Congratulations to you too, Shane. Yeah, I got, you know what I mean, Mike? You feel me, Mike? 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. A lot of love from Amsterdam. I appreciate the love from Amsterdam. I appreciate the love from Amsterdam. Aside from that, his daughter just had to close up her clothing line. Like who else is gonna lose as much as that? Who else would have lost that much? Who else would have been through all of that just for us? Yeah, and they often portrayed it like in shows too, where like a woman would be a homemaker and then she would meet a friend who has a job, and she would meet a friend who has a job, and her friend would be like, "Oh, you stay at home," and then she would just lightly puff a cigarette. Yeah, yeah, and they would portray. They made it. They changed it from an honorable position to being taboo. Listen, feminism, fucking the new civil rights movement, all of these things are a figment of your imagination, and they are ways for the globalists to funnel more money out of, and more resources out of our communities. And this is how they see. This is how they do it, right? They keep us beefing with each other, but then they make these funky ass fake foundations up and say they need money for it. That way, we all come together and give them money at the same time. Hey, let me tell you something. For that $1 he asked for, he is fucking underpaid, man. Yeah, yeah. You know what, Trey? You hear me, Trey? For some strange reason, we're all robots communicating with one another. He donated to the rest of the VA. He also, there was also a town that couldn't afford to keep like their pizzeria and stuff open. It was basically all the town had, and he's paying for it out of his own pocket to make sure that the stores stay open. I told you about the black woman that ran his foundation. Who said killing babies is okay? Wait, who said killing babies is okay? What am I missing? Shooters, who said that killing babies is okay? Let me get the tablet out. This feed is going a little bit fast. This feed is going a little bit fast. Don't forget, y'all, we got that Patreon popping. Become a Patreon. You pledge. You definitely gonna. He put Jennifer Hudson up. Listen, he put Jennifer Hudson up after Clyde Frazier Jr. died in a World Trade Center. He found because he didn't know who he was. Clyde Frazier Jr. ran. Yeah, abortion is Clyde Frazier Jr. ran a program that allowed young women get into uh, to get into the WNBA. And when he found out that he died, he went and he paid for it himself. And he's been paying for the program since. Why do they make abortions okay? Because the Democrats who and why they glorify abortion is because the Democrats are real racists. They're the real globalists. The globalists are the people that are trying to kill off the population and kill black people off as well. And abortion started with Planned Parenthood started with genetics, and genetics started with Margaret Sanger and some other thrifty individuals. Forgot that Margaret Sanger, who Planned Parenthood was a eugenicist. Yeah, I already said that. I said that. I said it. I said it. I said it. So when you think about a party that's doing this and that Joe Cartel the deliveries and then if you tell a feminist that abortion kills a female, they're still gonna say it's my pussy. Then they're gonna put it on their head and wear it as a hat. What are you talking about? They'll never shine a light on Donald Trump. You know why? Because Donald Trump is for real. That's why. Listen, let me explain something to you. Before you have sex, you have the opportunity to pull out a condom to put it on. You have the right to go see a doctor to ask for birth control, or you can spend 35 to 40 bucks on a Plan B pill. I have the phones open right now. If someone wants to call in via Skype, you can call in. It is 347-623-9644. How about that? I'm gonna open up Skype right now while you're talking. Ta-da! I'm opening up Skype right now while you're talking. I gave you the Skype. Whoever wants to call in, call in. I'm available. I'm taking calls right now. I'm taking Skype calls. The number is 347-623-9644. Right now, we only have a Skype available. I'm not doing the regular phone calls. I'm only doing Skype. They do 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 advice from one of my do advice of one of my moderators. I'm not gonna put up another number, even though I did have a text free for it. Hey, LA. What Jesse? Because I hope you ain't talking about that old dude. I don't like that old dude, Jesse. I don't like him. I don't think that. I don't think that a lot of what he says has any actual merit most of the time. I agree with some things. I just think that his approach and the way he delivers it comes off a little bit different. 9644. Yeah, just to make sure that's the number. Let me just make sure. Let me look at it. Let me make sure. Let me give it a look. Just to make sure I'm not telling you something that's not accurate. Yeah, 347-623-9644. Any topic now. We done with the video topic. We went into it. White people not supposed to feel guilty for black people because black people are well aware of what's going on. And if any black person isn't well aware of what's going on, then we're gonna inform him and they'll get the information needed. But no white people need to. We went through it. But if anybody else wants to chime in and need any more reasons why, you can call in and we can call in and have a discussion on that too as well. The number is 347-623-9644. I just think that Jesse starts off too much with, "Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God?" Yeah, because the scriptures. I just think that he does that too much. And I think that there are people who are not going to believe what you believe. And in order to connect to everybody, you have to be able to respect that about everybody. Yeah, you're able to hear me. You're able to hear me live. We're going to do this. There's so much going on right now. Yeah, and you know why they'd rather be, because they'd rather be upset. That's why. You got a call from Skype. Anyone calling me has to have a Skype account. Who's got a Skype number? I'll call right now. Yes, I am. Who got a Skype number? I'll call right now. Nah, Mike, you're not no loser. Don't worry about it. We all win this here. Thank you. Well, Skype is easy. It's an easy fix. You can just download the app and get it. And I want to make sure that we get some people on this show. So if I can get a couple calls in, that'll be a real good look. We could do that. Whatever you want to call and you want to ask about. We can talk about it. Yeah, I used to really rock with InfoWars, right? And then I started to see the business side of it. And then I started to see that things that he was saying that was going to come out never happened. And it just reminded me of the history of the Jehovah's Witnesses. So for that, I take it with like a grain of salt. I love Ben Shapiro. Um, I take it with a grain of salt. The call number is 347-623-9644. Alex, Alex, Alex is yeah. I think now he's more of a marketing tool now. The one thing this show won't be, it won't turn to one of those shows. So as we progress and as things progress with the show and we continue to move on, uh, we will make sure that the things that we present are things that will be allocated back to this show or conservative channels like ours. We have guys like Alex Jones who, he's giving you the truth a little bit, but then not. The reason why I like Ben Shapiro only is because he speaks his mind. I don't have to like everything about him. See, this is the thing that we have to open our minds to. You don't have to dislike somebody because you dislike one thing that they do. I don't have to agree with him in the things that he does. If he ran for office, I would never vote for him. But as far as a guy, I know that he's always going to speak his mind. So for that, I like him for that. I like people who speak their mind. There's a reason why we got Trump in office right now. The number is 3-4. Let me put it in. Let me put it in the chat right now. Let's see. Can I put it in the chat right now? Can one of my shooters put the number in the chat, please? 347. Let's see. It's 347-623-9644. 347-623-9644. I like Ben Shapiro because Ben Shapiro is not afraid to speak his mind. I don't think that everything he says is correct, but if it's his truth and he's speaking it, then that's his American right. The thing is that the Democrats have led women to believe that they don't have to be careful, that they don't have to be responsible. I said it in prior videos about the black female. That's the number. Yeah, thank you, Rizal. I said it's prior about black females. You can also text that number with show ideas as well. He works for himself, I believe, in another newspaper company. I think he worked for Breitbart. I'm not sure. I think it's Breitbart. I'm not sure. Don't forget, we got that inkandlyrics.net. You can go and you can purchase custom hats and shirts, and you can type in a promo code, uh, the New Red Show, and you'll be able to receive a discount. You'll receive a discount on four hats. If you purchase four hats, you'll get them for $100. You know the hats start off at 35 or 30 and 35, so you'll get a discount. The globalists are like wrestlers. The globalists pretend to be at war with each other. The real Democrats and Republicans actually have issues, but the Democratic Party started off on such a wrong foot. It's just one you shouldn't want to be invested in the first place. So it's just one you just might want to stay away from and shy away from. This chat is really, really popping right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Everybody in the chat, man. Give yourself a good hand clap, man. Everybody in the chat, give yourself a thumbs up or just give yourself a number one. Let me see that number one. Can I get some number ones in that chat for everybody in the chat? Because everybody in the chat elite right now. See you next time, sunshine. There you go. I need them ones. There you go. One love. I need them ones. The chat is popping right now. This is what's going on right now. The chat is popping right now. We getting these hours up right now. You just text me. Let me see. Call up, Annie. Call. Let me see something. Let me see something, y'all. Give me one moment. Let me see. Yeah, the Skype is open. I'm trying to see where this app went called Pinger. I'm gonna try to sign in on that, and I'll give you the number. Oh, it's not down. That's what's good. That's what's good, Rational Judgment. I appreciate it, man. Annie's definitely one of my mods, and um, she's definitely second when it comes to the channel over here. She was one of the first active and participating moderators that I had, and she was the first person that I know of to promote my video. So Ann is definitely second on my channel. Make sure you sub to Ann. Make sure you sub to D Marie. Make sure you sub to Gerard Legends. I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. Gerard Legends. Gerard Legends. Miss Miami, make sure y'all subscribe to her. Everybody in the chat, make sure y'all subscribe to each other. Like I said, we showing the love in here. You think I should grab random people from outside and debate them if they're Democrats? I'm gonna do a live show like that. How many people want to see me do a live show like that? Put your hands up. Let me see the hands up. If we get 10 hands up, we'll plan a show for like that when I get back from California. Okay, we got one. We got two. I see three. I need to see four. I need to see six more. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Can't be the same guy, but like 8, 9. I don't think that's a good head. I think that's a later Russian bots. All right, see you later, you Russian bot. All right, consider it done. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. All right, cool, yo. Have a safe, have a safe and great productive day at work, bro. I'm gonna be in California on the 26th or the 29th. If you're in California, I don't mind meeting up with you and doing my show live with you right next to me, co-hosting the show. That way, we can go ahead and we can get people channels popping. Like I said before, I am proud to say that I am an adopted parent. I have 2 adopted children. My nephew passed away, and I am now their adopted dad. So they don't live with me; they live with their mom, and I'm able to travel. I don't have any physical children that I am in physical care for. Milk was good, but that I have physical care of, so I am able to travel. I'm able to travel. If we can get these donations up, if we can get this, if we can get I would even take the funds from the GoFundMe and just move it over to like a Patreon or something. But I would like to get the GoFundMe up, and I would like to at least reach 4 so we could take it out. And then after that, I wouldn't mind doing traveling. And I got you. I'm gonna check it right now. I wouldn't mind going traveling and sitting down with people. And I wouldn't mind sitting down with people and doing the show live with them. And I'm gonna be posting my daughter's page up soon. She will have slime and other stuff for kids to view on her channel. She's very, very intelligent. She's very, very, very intelligent. She's charismatic, and her show will be geared towards other children. It will have children content on it, and it will be safe for all kids to view. It will have educational content, and it just will have how to make slime and other stuff like that the kids are interested in. So I will be getting her YouTube up and running soon, and I will hope that if you do have children, that you allow your children to subscribe to her channel, and she'll do the same and subscribe to theirs if they have any channels. This is just a new way for us to network with one another and build a larger community that actually reflects the values of the Republican Party. She's 8. She's 8 years old. That's dope, man. Nah, she's 8. Even if she don't, it's cool. If she's 17, she go watch this channel. Maybe she'll get an idea about what's going on over here. The Skype is open. I don't know if people get the Skype or not, but I know my Skype is on and it says that I'm available. available. But you know what? The educational systems are now governmental institutions. Let's talk about that topic right there. For someone like me who's been incarcerated, and you know how they uh, they conduct the jail, you'll see that it's similar to the school system. How they make you walk in a straight line, how they make you go on a line and eat, how you're not able to actually ask questions unless it's pertaining to what they want you to ask. So they're kind of restricting the child from actually having free thought and the ability to ask questions. Not every school is like that, but a lot of schools used to be. Yeah, if we all build entrepreneurs, then everyone will have products that we could barter to one another, and this would allow the community to grow as well. And then as Americans, this would really change. Do you see the internet is doing something right now that these globalists are having a hard time trying to stop. That's the reason why they was trying to talk about doing stuff to the internet, because there's just too many ways for us to be able to communicate with one another and service each other with goods. This allows us to avoid being restricted by the big government. It's always about money making in America. They'd rather have anybody in jail. They don't care about the color. And believe it or not, they want people that we consider rich in jail too, because they know that they're gonna have to pay. So you don't believe the hype about that whole racism shit. This shit is a system being set up right now. If you ever watched The Matrix, the movie, ta-da! If you took in the pill, ta-da! Welcome. I'm Neo. Well, I'm not really. Trump is, but I'm Morpheus. Because if they don't do that in the universities, right? If they don't carry it off in the universities, then how will it continue to exist? See, because in the news, it's not getting the coverage that it used to. So people aren't tuning in to the lies as much as they used to. They just turning it off. They're turning it completely off. There's no need to have lies when you know already when you turn on the news it's going to be biased as soon as you turn it on. You're not going to get the fair hearing of anything. Like you're just not. You know you're not. So you just avoid it as much as you can. All these places are just places that they are just regurgitating information that they are told to memorize. That is it. We are short of Nikola Tesla's and Albert Einstein's, and it's going to be hard for us to have that again. What we need to do is we need to start finding conservative restaurants and stores, and we need to start passing that information on. And we'll have it on the website. If anybody here builds websites and or knows anyone that does, I would ask that you that if you do build websites, I would ask that you text me and you get in touch with me so we can have this done. I ask that you contact me so we can have it done. If you do build websites or if you know how to build websites, I have someone that does build websites. You can also text the number 347-623-9644. Regular, you don't need to text that via Skype. You can just text that regular from your from your cell phone. Well, I'll be able to put the caller on speaker if they call me via Skype. So we'll be able to hit a call if they call on Skype. Same way you heard him when he came in the room. Yeah, I got some ideas. I don't know if you seen the show yesterday, but we showed the store. We showed, some of the clothes and stuff like that. But I got some dope ideas. If if everyone here, right, this is why it's important that we get the website built. There's so many great ideas that I have that we could present to the world. That this would just take our platform to a whole different level. And this is the idea for what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Not just to sit here amongst ourselves and just chat a lot about information that we have, but to also present the information that we have to other people so we could bring them in as well. Because ultimately, what we want to do is we want to start our own union of registered voters who will vote towards the way that the union is asking them to vote. We have to take our country back by doing things that we once did prior to what has been presented in front of us now. Because although we are Republicans, we don't necessarily have to like that candidate. We can actually just have enough people within our network where we can find someone and say this is the person who we want to run Republican. And because our network could have 10 million people involved in it, or even 20 million people involved in it, that this person might become a candidate that we can actually get put in position to become the president of the United States of America. It's going to start with me, and us and everyone here that's with us right now, and we can take this to somewhere totally different. I'm gonna check it out. Stay strong. Now, if our kids create pages and our kids subscribe to one another, even if they're not selling much product, still YouTube will be paying our children. By the time our children reach college, and if we start them now young at these ages, and by the time they reach college and they catch that YouTube check, shit, we won't have to pay for school. And instead of paying for school initially, I would suggest that we tell our children to invest in businesses that they can own for themselves, and then if they want to put themselves in college after the fact, then they can afford to actually pay for it themselves because they have the means to provide their living conditions. They're actually providing the service, and they're able to take care of themselves. We need to start putting our children in a position where they're actually having the set mind of capitalism and they understand the importance of investing their money. I am. I'm the best rapper. I'm the best rapper. Me. I'm the best rapper. Nice. Oh, I'm so sad when a blunt get this small. The blunt of tobacco, ladies and gentlemen. Tobacco product. If you talk about New York City, that's me. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the internet. I'm not an internet troll. If you go to my Instagram at Montega, Montaga, you'll see for yourself. It took a lot for me to come here to make this channel, to stand here and be in this position and say that I am who I am and I support the president. Anybody want to hear any music? I got something posted on YouTube. There's a video of me flying a drone and there's something playing in the background. So one of my songs called "Get a Man." It's pretty decent. Yeah, that's good work ethic. Work ethic. Me, when I was young, I packed bags. That was a hustle. And then honestly, I just started selling drugs. I didn't have the right conditioning. The chat is popping right now. I'm glad to see everybody so involved. And this is really, really, really good right now. So we want to get back in on the topic. A white man shouldn't feel guilty for black people. Because ultimately, just to end it off, right? If you feel guilty about someone else's existence and you're not even responsible for the condition that you found yourself in and they found themselves in, then if you find someone trying to blame you, I implore you to be the same one in the conversation and be dignified enough to actually not entertain it with a conversation or discussion, or to simply just walk away from the individual. Because at some point in time, people will realize that this is a system of acceptance of responsibility. And as long as people start applying it to themselves and people stop allowing these globalists to divide us, and we start calling things out for what it is when we see it, we're going to prevail and we're not going to have much of an issue. But as long as we keep arguing and trying to raise our voice, to yell over one another, to talk, people's feelings will actually never get hurt. And there won't be any solutions to any of the problems. It's a shame that this poor man's daughter about to lose, or just lost her whole clothing line. All because her father wanted to become president of the United States so he can actually fix the problems that's going on. This is the reason why. This is the reason why we gotta be different. This is the reason why it's a Montega, Montaga. Yeah, I actually have a song on my YouTube that I did over from a UK artist. I'll play it real quick and let you hear. I'll let you hear some of it so you can hear the beat. Let me see if you know the artist. Let me see if you know the artist. Give me 1 second, y'all. Gotta get a charger. Let me play it for you right now. You ready, Cobra? Hey yo, so Cobra too. I'm about to cut you up about your man Anthony Joshua, right? Yeah, hold on. You know we about to get into it, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my guy. Hold on, I'm gonna play the record, but then we're gonna have a talk. Somebody just hit me up on Skype. Hey, can everyone hear her?
Yeah, so it took me a while. Oh, there's a lag. All right.
All right, you're gonna have to turn down the volume on your you have to turn down the volume
On
on
the
your
volume.
yeah.
I'll finish that for you. I
Not
turned
on
the
your
volume
phone,
down.
but on the computer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That took a while. I'm not accustomed to Skype. Skype has not been a friend of mine for a while.
It's all right. It's
Well,
all
I
right.
thought I would give you a call.
All right.
So there's so much to talk about, but
Let's go. Let's go.
for yeah, don't mind the gunshots in the back, but you've got a couple of people practicing. But all right, so let's see. White people should not feel guilty for black people. Totally agree with you there. Totally agree. None of us were in those days. There's none of us that were around. You know, to learn from what history, other people's history. You know, the people that were during that time. We should take a look and see what was going on and why it was different people, a different time. Everything was different then, and that was their time, not ours. And no, just like we should not blame every Arab or every Egyptian
For every bomb that happens.
for every for everything. We should look. There's a difference in culture, and nobody can argue that. We even have differences in culture here. You can go to Louisiana, you have your French Cajun culture. You can go to, just travel. All you got to do is travel around this country and see that there are different pockets of culture, which is great. You know, and you can't take one person, one individual from a group of people and say that the whole group is terrible. That's what the Arabs tend to do, and I'm not generalizing. I'm not trying to generalize, but that's what the Arabs try to do with the Jews, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all Arabs are Jews, and I looked over the Middle East. I know that somewhat is true, but certainly not all. But you can't just hate everybody. And but culture is an important issue, I think, to talk about. I think we tend to shy away from saying, hey, we have different cultures, but in reality there are different cultures.
This is
And
what makes us
one
different.
thing,
This is what, not to cut you
yeah,
off, right? But listen, this is what makes us different. Not color, right? Color is something that's trivial because we're all human. You understand? So what makes us different is the cultures in which we live by, the things that make us different. You know, these are the things that are supposed to unite us as Americans. They're not supposed to divide us. And this is a tool that's used by the globalists because they understand that, like I said before, if you have a shirt and I have a shirt, it doesn't matter how much your shirt costs. It covers it covers your top. It covers your shoulders and your chest. My shirt will do the same
precisely.
thing. So it doesn't matter. So the only thing that they can keep constant is these race barriers that they constantly put you in. And when the race barriers doesn't work, then they give you a phobia to have. So not only can they have you afraid, but now they get to get medication off of you as well. See, this is the thing that we have to keep ourselves mindful of. You understand? As long as we are communicating with one another and we cut the television off from the CNNs, from the MSNBCs, from these networks, and then we maintain an honest truth with each other here, share the videos with each other, make sure that we we stay constant with each other on Facebooks, My Facebook is down there. It's Antone Tucker. It's ANTOINE TUCKER. As far as with white people not feeling guilty, it's impossible for you to be responsible for something that happened hundreds of years before you knew you existed. Please
Precisely.
stop allowing people to try to make you feel guilty because of something that you've worked hard for.
Yeah.
Everyone
Oh
at
no,
this point,
I don't allow
yeah,
people to make me feel guilty, and I don't think anybody should feel guilty for something that someone else does. And you know, and you're right. Dialogue is extremely important. We don't have to always agree on every single topic, but and, but disagreeing sometimes creates even more dialogue to where we can, at least come to a happy medium. If not, uh, look, I am not at all set completely. I do my research. I try to do intelligent research. I don't just listen to somebody. I may listen to somebody and then I say, is that true? Well, let me go find out. For instance, um, you know, just I go to the source, and the source is certainly not a bunch of people who are paid to sit there and read off of a sheet of paper in front of them or whatever. It's not the media. No, not by any means. Let me tell you, propaganda is alive and well here in America. And it probably always has, and we just have not been, Americans in general have become so complacent. And we believe that for some crazy reason, we tend to believe that our country is safe from corruption, which, as we see, oh my God, it's so not. We tend to instead close our eyes. We need to come to we need to have a lot of dialogue, and we need ideas thrown out there.
as long
And
as people are not aware, well, as long as the people that are corrupt keep us bickering with one another, it allows them the opportunity to maintain the corruption. This is the reason why
exactly.
it's important for us to not only invest in the dialogue, but invest in our children and keeping the dialogue open with them as well. You know,
Oh yeah,
our
absolutely. Because if you and I are talking, for instance, what can they say? They
what,
can't say anything because it's you and I. We're having this discussion. We know where each other are coming from. We know exactly what's going on. You see, and so they can't dictate our conversation because we know we're communicating. Dialogue is so important, no doubt. And I see that that's really not what's going on. I see the Antifa, of course, like everyone else. I was watching the Antifa movement and all of that, and there is no dialogue. It's pure hate. It's pure hatred. And a lot of those the people that are participating in that, for instance, Antifa, again, they're all, they're lack of education, just and young. Okay, we all were
yeah,
young and dumb
this is
at
how
one
you
point.
get them. You got to get them when they're young like that. So, and at the end of the day, you have to understand too. A lot of them aren't really going for their ideals. They're going because they've been paid. They're going because they're putting out
Yep.
ads and they're paying these kids $25 an hour. And then when you're a college kid and you're really trying to get this money, and they say we're giving you incentives for breaking stuff, and you're getting extra breath, extra money for breaking stuff, and they're not posting it on the ad. On the ad, it just says $25. But when you actually go to these
Yeah.
places, they're telling you we can give you incentives if you cause any ruckus or anything.
Because I honestly didn't believe that was going on. People were saying it, but I didn't believe it until I saw it for myself, and I went, "Wow, that's insane. It's real." They were taking out ads. I saw it myself in the Oregonian. I saw it myself in the was it the Washington Star
They
over in
took out
Washington
ads
State.
in the Daily News. They took out ads in the Washington Post. Anytime, and you'll see during this election cycle that you'll see that it's there. And when we see stuff like that being posted online, we have to be vigilant and make sure that we flag that shit. All right. And when you see
No
it in your
kidding.
local papers, you need to call up and you need to inform them that they're sponsoring a terrorist group. And when you see stuff like that, you make sure that you inform people around it that's a terrorist group.
No
In New
kidding.
Jersey,
Absolutely.
they're
Well, now that
stationed
I
in New
know that it's
Jersey.
real, I mean, I literally, it's hard to believe some of this stuff. And, to be honest with you, you were speaking about Alex Jones earlier. Um, to touch on him really quickly, I've watched Alex Jones off and on for, a decade, I would say. And At first, I thought, oh my
Thank you.
gosh,
Please
who
make sure
is
you
this
subscribe,
guy?
y'all. Please make sure you subscribe. Let's get them likes up. This has been at 54 for a minute. Hold on, I'm sorry, sweetie Java.
No, go ahead.
Let's see them likes get up, y'all. It's been like at 54 for a little minute, y'all. So if y'all tuning in right now, let me see y'all get some likes in there. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hit that like button. Make sure you patronize that like button. Let me see some likes going up in there. All right. Now, what was you saying again, sweetie? I'm sorry.
Oh, such as Alex Jones. At first, I would say a decade ago, I was, off and on watching him, and I was like, oh my God, who is this guy? He's very passionate, and everybody's different. I get that. And but I tell you, after a while, I started seeing that this guy knew so much. He knew what he was talking about with so many things that I did start to listen to him. I was like, wait a second. So I mean, I don't know. You've touched on. There's so much to talk about. Alex Jones. I like Alex Jones. He's a very passionate guy. That is for sure. And everybody's different, and I understand, where he's coming from. That's his personality. And but I tell you, he's done a lot to wake a lot of people up with his personality and all. It's not for everybody. I get that, but I think he's really a good guy. But I understand what you mean. You touched on the fact that it got kind of businessy. And on one aspect of that, I say, look, everybody's got to make a living. You know, Just
No,
for
I don't
sure.
mind. I don't
Everybody.
mind him making a living, but I mean, there's just too many. Something is going to happen. The president will come out and say aliens is here, and he will give an
Yeah,
address, and then it doesn't happen. And all right, well, we know because of our great president Donald Trump. Now we know that there's a space force, and now we understand that there's been a budget for extraterrestrials since the Roswell incident. So, in fact, we
yeah,
understand that there is life from other planets, and it actually is real. And that indirect disclosure came from our president. But with Alex, my whole thing is he's very, very intelligent. He's very, very passionate. But he also went after our president. And when I seen him start to call our president a globalist, and he didn't even, allow him to just continue to work, I kind of felt like I needed to fall back from Alex Jones. At that point, I
yeah.
realized that,
I think he jumped the gun.
yeah, I realized that taking him too much for face value could have you in a direction that could be just a tad bit misleading. Misleading. The one thing I
Yeah.
did before I voted for our president was I needed to actually do research on him, and the research I did was one where I was looking for everything bad. You know how you just type in everything that bad you can find on the internet, and you just looking for that, so you can just type that in. And then when you are typing these things in, these things aren't coming up. What's coming up are charitable things that you're finding out that actually happened. Now I did this when he first decided to run. So it's before Google changed everything up, because Google does that. So this is
Right. Oh
before
yeah.
the Google change up. So when he first decided to run, I just did that just to check and see. This is when I found out about the woman who misappropriated the funds, who did all the things and everything else. So when I started to see the news eating it up and everything else, I said they're trying to set him up for failure, because I know that they're going to give this to Hillary. When Wow off the Bean Sanders came out, and he was running against her, I said, wow, this guy's a little bit different. So let me just see what he's saying as well, because I like the idea that he's challenging her. I don't like the whole everything free shit, because I know that's just some dumb shit he's saying. But I like the fact that he's actually coming at her. But I want to see how he lose to her, because depending on how he loses, it'll determine to me if the next election cycle, if I should even consider him as a true candidate. And then when I seen him accept her nomination and say Trump was someone that needed to be stopped instead of her, in spite of everything that happened, and in spite of him knowing that she was cheated, I knew that he was a globalist too. See,
Yeah.
I knew he was a globalist too. You understand? Because why would you, if you're really
Right.
trying to stop her, if she was all these bad things that you said she was, why would you continue to support her after the fact when you knew she illegally stole the election from you, and she had answers from CNN, from a news source, to the questions and so on? So why would you do that? There's no way in the world.
Right.
I would have left, and I would have been on the Trump train myself.
Right. Agreed.
So we just
Agreed.
shows
Well, I think,
who you really with.
yeah, yeah, you got to pay attention and pay attention to yourself, folks. Don't listen necessarily to others. Listen to somebody, but take what they say and find out if it's correct because there are so many people misleading you deliberately, sadly, from the left. I used to be a Democrat years ago, and the reason that I was a Democrat is because I was told to be a Democrat. I was told the old fancy story about Democrats are for the working people. And I thought, oh, that's awesome. They're for the working people. Well, you know, I'm a working person and I struggle like everybody else to make ends meet, you know. We sacrifice just like everybody else, so I better vote Democrat. Well, you know, I'm just going to tell you, I did not do any research. I really did not. I was born basically into a family of Democrats, and they did about as much research as I did. We all just chanted Democrats because they were supposed to be for the working people. And, you know,
They made themselves the party that they made themselves the non-racist party. And let me explain to you how they portrayed it. When once Bush Senior took office, his whole look and his approach towards Black America didn't come across. Uh, it didn't come across as genuine. I have to be honest with you. And we know that Bush was a globalist. So whoever in this feed doesn't believe that or whatever, put a thumbs down in there and you can have that. We don't care. I'm gonna call it for what it is. We're not over here playing these games. Um, when anyone that's attacking the true American, we're gonna call them out here on this show. So it's what it's hitting for. That's the reason why he lost the black vote because blacks was for Reagan. Blacks we liked it, the McGruff the crime dog. We had the the Yogi Bears, you know, in the neighborhood and stuff like that. We had the PAL, the Police Athletic League. These things were brought to us through the Reagan administration. So although he may have been tough on certain things like drug cartels and stuff like that, I mean you had to at that time. Miami was like a war zone. It was you could be
right.
walking and you could just be walking in the street and just get shot with a straight bullet. Hey Gemini girl, you could have just been shot with a straight bullet. So it was he had to have some type of tough policy at that time to make it hard for drug traffickers to do what they was just blatantly doing out in the open, which was just committing murders. Other than that, black people had a great respect for that president, and the black family actually flourished at that time. If you check the percentages on the black family homes, it was a raise of 20% of home ownership in the black community. Blacks didn't start losing their homes until the Democrats started to introduce bills and then started to introduce more bills which made it more difficult for blacks to become independent enterprises. You had to have a license
Sure.
for
Well,
everything. And the same thing affected white people.
yeah. Well, exactly. Well, let me tell you something. If you keep someone dependent, you know, like you said earlier, you said, and I don't remember if it was today or yesterday when I caught you, but you said, you know, once the Democrats throw out, hey, the government can be your husband, okay? They no longer needed black men or men. Period.
Yeah, they
Men.
no longer need
Period.
the men. That's why it's your so
Women no
you
longer
are
needed men.
you are right now. You hit the button. She just hit the button. Everybody give her a round of applause. Somebody give her number ones up, please. Somebody give her ones up, please. Because the first thing you'll hear this new generation of females saying is, "I don't need a man. I don't need a man." Well, how do you expect to continue life on this planet if you don't have someone loving you and being responsible for you and you being responsible for someone else? The human condition is to love. See, this is the
Yeah.
reason why
Well,
the Democrats are robots. The real robots are the people calling us robots.
yep. And let me tell you, the feminists, and again, I used to call myself a feminist, and today you would probably refer to me as a classical feminist, for instance. Just what I'm talking about, the things that women needed. We needed to be able to vote. Okay, we needed to be able to vote. But anyway, I would no longer consider myself a feminist today because I see the quote unquote feminist movement today man hating. They're
The
man-made.
feminist
They're
movement
demeaning on
today
men.
is
Men are
non-existent.
the
The feminist movement today is non-existent because if it really existed, then they would have never let anyone close down Ivanka's Trump clothing line. They would have never,
oh
ever, ever
yeah.
crucified her based on the contingency of what job her father has. This is what feminism has turned to. Feminism has turned to a bunch of females that are displaying their sexual orientation in front of children that are too young to decide what sexual orientation they want to partake as they grow and develop. This is what we're talking about right now. We're talking about these people.
Agreed.
Okay,
Right.
it's changed now.
They
They took what was
demeaning men.
genuine and they took it. What they took what was genuine and they turned it into something ugly. Just like that whole Lives Matter movement. Initially, I'm sure that the people who came up with the idea for it wanted to have something good for it, but look what it's turned to. It's turned to a bunch of people asking for some dumbass fucking
Compliments.
demands.
Yeah.
If you white, give up your house. If
Yeah.
you die, give all your money to someone black. That's some dumbass shit. Why the fuck would I? Why would I do that? Why? What about the family
That's
I've been
someone,
fucking
that is
working my
someone that
whole
is
life for to
entitled. They
feed?
have lived an entitled lifestyle and they feel entitled. And that's what's so sad. The Democrats are pushing that agenda though. Feel entitled because you know what? When you feel as though uh, you're entitled to everything, and that makes you dependent. Okay, it's no different than in any household where mom and dad are doing everything for you. And it's nice to help your kids. I have children of my own, adult children. It's great to help the kids. Parents love to help the children when they can, but a lot of the time we need to hold back. I'll tell you what, because they need to stand on their own 2 feet. Because number one, it gives them a sense of pride. It gives them a work ethic, which also helps give them a sense of pride. When you feel good about yourself, when you're accomplishing, and I don't care if it's that you had this huge stack of dishes over here on the left side of the sink, and when you are finished busting your butt, sweating in the kitchen, they're all done and the kitchen's beautiful. That's a feeling of accomplishment, even for myself, to be honest with you. And I'm just showing you as an example, that's a sense of accomplishment. So to struggle and not to be dependent on someone feels great. That self-responsibility is awesome. And it keeps us motivated as well. When you give someone everything, you take away complete incentive for anything. And then they don't need the fathers. Let me tell you something, any men that are listening, men are very important. You're very, very important, and you're extremely important to the family. I know that for decades you haven't heard it, but let me tell you something. Females, if they're honest with you, grown females will let you know how important your position as a male in the family is to how they end up, thinking of themselves. Because if we raise these little girls without good, responsible, loving, and affectionate fathers, they go look for it elsewhere. And then they find themselves with not so great guys. And then it's darn repetitive, everything. But let me tell you, men, you're extremely important to the family. You're extremely important to women. Um, so, that's just one more topic and one more issue that
Yeah,
just so many.
I'm gonna open this up so we could get another call in before
Okay,
I close the show out. I want to thank you for calling in. Tomorrow we
back.
definitely will be back at the same time. The show will be ending a little bit earlier tomorrow because I have to get ready around like 1:30 to be at the airport. So maybe I'll continue the show while I'm at the airport tomorrow. So maybe we'll have two
Well,
shows
keep on.
tomorrow, and maybe I'll debate somebody at the airport. Anybody want me to debate somebody at the airport tomorrow? If I get there
Do
early enough
what?
and I have time. If I get to the airport early enough and I have time tomorrow, and I'm at the lounge area, and I start the show, and I find a participant, does anyone want me to debate a Democrat on Trump?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to end the Skype call now, and I'm
Yep.
going to open up the Skype for another call. Cause
All right.
all
I'm
right,
hanging up.
thank you, Java Zombie. All right, so we're going to make sure we take care of that tomorrow when I get to the airport and see if we find somebody that would like to intellectually spar with me, and we'll look for that person tomorrow, and we'll look for him while I'm on live. That way, for a fact I was looking for the person. All right. No problem, no problem. We're gonna take one more call because what I'm gonna break down is my theory on how we have so many transgender and lesbian and gay individuals in our community today. I'm gonna break it down. If you, after you leave this link, you can go into YouTube and type in "food makes people gay," and you'll see that an article will come up with a Berkeley, California professor, and his name starts with a T. Forgot his name, but he's a Berkeley, California professor, and he worked for a company known as Stragenta, and they have a pesticide which is used on 80% of the corn crops in the United States called estrogen. Estrogen. And it's also used on all of the golf courses and so on and so forth. And what it does is it causes sexual abnormalities in animals. And since it causes sexual abnormality in animals and it's sprayed on the corn, it's in high fructose corn syrup, is in all the corn products that you digest. And these things are then filled uh, with chemicals that don't allow them to age. Okay, now they are producing them through a GMO process, which is a genetically modified process. They are genetically modified organisms. This is the reason why I'm vegan. This is the reason why I don't eat certain things. So a lot of people wanted to break it down, but I'm gonna break down to you the reason why we have so many uh, transgender and homosexuals within the community today. So now you eat food. Every time you eat meat these many times a day. You have breakfast, you have toast, you have eggs, you'll have bacon, and you might have some grits or something. But you most likely you have these things, or you might have a little home fries, right? But you still have these main things. Now in the toast, there is milk and eggs, because it's eggs and milk in bread. All right, and milk is pus and blood. This is the reason why if you have AIDS, you cannot breastfeed your young. You will in fact give them the infection because you have blood and pus inside of your breast milk. This is what it's made of. Okay. No, we're gonna get you in the hot seat. Don't do that. We don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna put you in an interrogation chair. We gonna the GMO stuff is not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's definitely not a lie. All right, we will put you in an interrogation chair. Let me just finish breaking this down, y'all. I'm gonna give you the real. Now, every time you eat any beef, every time you eat any chicken, every time you eat any pork, you are eating a female animal. These animals are pumped full of a chemical called estrogen. This is a chemical that the human body produces, predominantly in females and in small amounts in males. Now, since all the meat you're eating is laced with this chemical, it causes a chemical imbalance in every human that is digesting these foods. And because you have this chemical imbalance and you decide to procreate, the baby also has this chemical imbalance. In order for it to survive, its body has to make a choice. And in most cases, it mutates the gene in the frontal lobe that makes it procreate with the opposite sex to make it believe that it's supposed to have the same sex. This is actually a surviving mechanism inside of the womb because there's a chemical imbalance. There is an estrogen level that is too high for a female to, because your body will always try to find a level off. So when it has too much estrogen, it will start to produce testosterone to try to level it off. If you're a male and you've ever heard someone taking steroids, you've heard that they had small kahunas after doing so. Why? Because when you have too much testosterone, your body stops producing testosterone and starts to produce estrogen. So now that I broke down to you the cause of the my theory of the cause of the rampant rate and sexual abnormalities in humans, and you can also go and do your search on YouTube, like I told you, and I believe his name is Tyree, so something with a T, but he's a Berkeley, California professor, and his initials is TJ, and he works for a company named Sugenta, and a company that I'm talking about that causes these problems is, as the chemicals called estrogen, and they're also owned by Monasanti or Monsanto Corporation, which owns Bayer Aspirin. And if you know, Bayer Aspirin is giving people HIV/AIDS since the 80s inside of medication. No one went to jail for it. They were Democrats too. This is a strong live. This live has been going strong. We've been up here for an hour and 37 minutes. Monsanto, that's right. Bayer is an old German company, but Bayer Aspirin was bought by Monsanto. They had the Monsanto Act. That's why no one could sue Bayer Aspirin when it was discovered that they were actually giving people HIV/AIDS. Go into YouTube right now and type in Bayer gives people HIV/AIDS, and you'll see. We have the phones open, y'all. So if anybody else is trying to get any calls in, you know, let me know. And I'm open to having any more conversations open on the subject right now. Yeah, eugenics is definitely okay. This guy, what's his name? What's his brother name? That said that it's not GMOs is not real. That this brother, can you return back to the chat? Can you tell me what facts you have on that? What sources can you go to? That way I know that I can go check it real quick. I promise you, not after this feed actually processes and it's there, I'm gonna have the feed that I said that I would have, and I'm gonna have it posted within this. But I need to know what source that you're coming from right now that we can go find that you can show me that that's a lie. I'm waiting, brother. No, I know Jelly Bean, but I'm gonna give the brother an opportunity, man. I'm gonna give him an opportunity, man, because he's shouting a lot, he's saying a lot, and before I mute him, because I don't know if he's just trying to troll or if he's trying to enlighten me. I definitely want to know if he has something to say. I don't want to shut somebody off from saying something that I can actually learn from. But at the same time, you can't just say stuff and then there's no backup for it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to back it up. Over here, I don't mind, you know, being educated on something that I don't know, but and I don't mind debating the conversation. Billy Jean, GMO's gonna be that's not you. Gerard Legends. That's the problem. There is no evidence that GMOs make people gay. A transsexual burden of proof is technically on you. No, there is evidence. I just finished telling you that there's evidence of it. I just finished telling you that there's been studies by a Berkeley, California professor that shows that it causes abnormality in humans and in animals. I just said that. I said that there is definite study that shows that proves it. And I said that right after this is done, I'll go in. And matter of fact, while I'm going on YouTube right now, I'm going to type in something, and I'm going to show you while I type in it. I'm going to show you how real this is. Watch this. You know, you just arguing, brother. You just arguing. You just arguing. You just arguing. And you about to get the pause. Hold on. Look, as soon as I type in food, look what happened. Look what it says. Why is that? Why is it that it says that? Why is it that it says that? But we're gonna get to it right now. See that says Berkeley? Watch this.
Chemicals that interfere with hormones on amphibian development, and I was approached by the manufacturer and asked to study the effects of atrazine, the herbicide, on frogs. And after I discovered that it interfered with male development and caused males to turn into females to develop eggs, the company tried to prevent me from publishing and from discussing that work with other scientists outside of their panel.
What was the process within the company as you raised your findings? What was their immediate reaction to what you had come across?
Well, initially they seemed sort of supportive. We designed more studies, we designed more analysis, and they encouraged me to do more analysis. But as the further analysis just supported the original finding, they became less interested in moving forward very quickly, and eventually they moved to asking me to manipulate data or to misrepresent data, and ultimately they told me I could not publish or could not talk about the data outside of their closed panel.
And Professor Hayes, talk about exactly what you found. What were the abnormalities
So like I said,
you found in frogs, the gender-bending nature
show me what
of
you have.
this drug, atrazine?
Well, initially we found that the larynx or the voice.
Show me what you have. Because I don't want to pause. I don't want to put nobody in Guantanamo Bay for just shouting and just saying stuff to me. I'm going to need you to give me something that I can recite. Because right now, you put yourself in an interrogation room. So you can't come to this. You can't come to this army, and you can't tell us stuff here, because here we seeking information, and we don't block people here at this channel. I don't want anyone to be blocked at this channel, but I can't allow you to keep saying stuff if you don't have anything to back it up. Now, if this is just your opinion, then say that's just my opinion, but you can't say it's not true if you don't have any study on it. He didn't just say frogs just now. He said in human men. This is what he said. He said in human men, because the study started in frogs. So again, before I have to, yo, bro, you right now, man, you listen, bro, you in the interrogation room, bro. I'm not really trying to go back and forth and debate with you something. If it's your opinion, just state it's your opinion, so it's just for the record. But don't say something that's not a fact if you don't have anything whatsoever that's going to back it up, because there's more information out there than just this right here. So again, I'm gonna have to ask you: Is this something you want to debate me on? You want to continue to debate me on? Or is this just your opinion and you just saying your opinion? Estrogen, yeah. All right, you don't have nothing to say. I'm gonna have to put him in Guantanamo Bay. I'm gonna have to sit him in Guantanamo Bay for right now. You can't come on this. You can't come on this show. This army right here is a group of people that are serious about making sure that we talk the truth here. I'm not trying to block nobody and none of that. I want you to be able to still see the channel. Eventually, you'll be able to, find yourself back. You know what I mean? And you'll be able to come back here when you find something you want to debate me on, and you have something that you can actually go to and refer back to, or you can leave like you just did, and it's okay, and we're cool with that too. But here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we kick the truth to one another, and we're not gonna just say stuff that we can't go and have some type of study to refer back to. I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Anybody else got any other open topics y'all want to kick out there real quick before we close the show out? Open chat, open chat. Anybody got any calls they want to call in real quick? Hey, hashtag guiltless. We appreciate you coming in the chat. I know that when you go to Google, Google is a source used by these globalists. There is a larger agenda here. What I like to go by is studies that are done by by a lot of the universities. They aren't healthy at all for human consumption. Like I said, the best thing to do is try to find universities that done studies on the GMO and the effects of GMO. And if you want to see for proof of how bad these things are for you, go to McDonald's right now, or when you leave the show, go to McDonald's, go order some fries, take a French fry out, put one under your car seat, and leave it there. Take one out, put it in the windowsill, and leave it there. Unless you have ants, don't do that. That's not a good idea whatsoever. Or if you just for testing sake, put it on a small little dish and put Vaseline around it so ants can't get to it, and just put it there and just leave it there and see if it ages, see if it breaks down, and see if it turns to nothing. See if it corrodes. See if it corrodes, and you'll see. So if something doesn't corrode naturally, how can it corrode inside your body? What is your body doing with it? Your body is processing it as fat automatically, and it's storing it with fat, and it's not healthy cells. It's cancerous cells. That's why when you go to McDonald's, there's a sign in there that tells you that the warning, the food in here can cause birth defects and or cancer. Yeah, almost all that shit is banned in the U.S. I mean, in the UK, you can't take food with you really from the states to the UK because it's banned there. Can't even take Pop Tarts because stuff in Pop Tarts, they put the same stuff that's in Pop Tarts is in antifreeze. Bye, Jelly Bean. Enjoy the rest of your day. Slushy J, quick muffin now. Back when I was sleepwalking, I was out here loving all of that stuff, man. Trust me, I was out here loving all. It was hard to give it up. It was real hard to give it up. Good that you back. I had to just give you a second real quick, dog, because you were saying stuff and you wasn't backing it up with anything. Garage, Legends. You wasn't backing it up with anything. So I had to just give you a second real quick because you wasn't. Do you have anything? Did you come back with anything? Do you have something, a link in the feed you want to throw in the feed real quick that I could play up the same way I played my feed? I'll play your feed. If not, I'm about to end this show. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I want everybody to know that I appreciate you stopping in. I want you to stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. Yeah, when you come to the show, right, other YouTube channels will block you. So then it's like you never have a say. Unless you, the only way you're gonna get blocked here is if you come here and you just keep spamming and trolling the whole channel. Then my Patriots gonna get you out of here. But other than that, I'm gonna just put you on Guantanamo Bay, for a little while, and then you can get out. But if you in there indefinitely, then that means you black. And some people we just won't hear from, forever. But the gay agenda isn't something that's fake. It's something that's actually real. And it's real because what you have to understand is if you have people that are emotional, then you have people that aren't rational. And people that aren't rational aren't able to actually think. They're just emotional. They will only move off emotion. And that's the reason why they needed to have blankets and putty and coloring books when this stupid ass old lady lost. To the Dirty Dick Bill, to Up the Hill, you're losers. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Rizal, Michelle A, Annie, Activist Granny, Ellie, Treya, Patrick, Garage Legends, D. Marie, Guiltless, Jelly Bean. Even though she not here, we know she was here, so shout out to her. You know, to Therese Jones for tuning in, stopping by, to my brother Manny for stopping by with some questions. Hopefully, we'll continue to um, push the love on him, and he'll understand where we're coming from. There's no one in every crowd, exactly. As long as we stay together, man, we're gonna stay deep. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You already know it's love here. And tomorrow we'll be here again, 12:30 until 1 o'clock, and then we'll come back and we'll be on the hunt live for a Democrat to debate. So make sure y'all tune in because that show will probably be after 2:30. And I'm telling you, when you see it, you're gonna need to see it to believe it because we're gonna find somebody, and hopefully I will have somebody upset and mad, and they won't want to debate anymore. Nah, don't worry about it. It's not about being rude. It's just that, here, I'm going to ask you. So if you say it's your opinion, then at least for the record, you can go on the record just by saying, for now, it's my opinion. You understand? But when you say that's not true, and I know that I've done studies on it, it's like kind of like you calling me a liar. And in order for you to tell me that I'm wrong, then you would have to show me evidence to prove so. And if you can prove that I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong. And I'm quick to want to learn. If this channel hasn't showed anything, it shows that I'm well informed, and I don't want to open my mouth about something that I'm not well secure in being able to defend. This is something that I maintain, and it's not about me being right or wrong. It's just about me making sure that what we promote is true education, and we make sure we get it to one another. Patrick, what I'm gonna do is move Patrick from this channel, period. Because, no, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I just removed him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know about that. It sounds like it's like a giving away money. I don't know nothing about none of that. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. I don't like type of stuff like that, so I don't know what that is. I don't know if I quoted wrong. My shooters could unblock them later on if I was wrong about that. If I was wrong, I'm sorry, but it just seemed like, I don't know. She said she was donating here, but yeah, so she said she's gonna be a Patreon. He called her sucker. Yeah, that's a dub. So for Patrick, he's blocked. Shooters don't unblock him. He's in Guantanamo Bay forever. He's been captured. He's been shot down, and he's not a part of this. Anybody who's trying to be a Patreon to this show, understand that I'm making sure that whatever I get, it goes back to the channel. Period. Other than that, I'm not trying to spend no money on anything. So like I said, with that, stay safe, Thank you. I appreciate that, Gerard. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and anybody that does do the Patreon, there is gifts for those that decide to do it. We have a PayPal donate, and we also have the GoFundMe agenda. Hopefully, everyone here has a great day, and tomorrow we'll be shooting on the plane. Tomorrow we'll be shooting in the plane station, and we'll be looking for somebody to debate. One love, everyone. Peace.